Good morning. I'm Catherine Thompson, Technology Analyst at Edison, and I'm here today with David Guyatt, CEO, and Rupert Hutton, CFO of Osirium, to discuss the company's first half results. David, could you talk us through the highlights of your half-year results?
Certainly, Catherine. I think from the highlights perspective, I think two words: Q1 performance and the arrival of COVID would be an accurate starting point here. I mean, after a record quarter in Q1, COVID arrived, of course, and we responded by making some swift and effective changes to the lockdown. We obviously ensured our staff were healthy and safely working from home because we very quickly moved to a remote model there. And we continued, obviously, to support our customers without actually any compromise in our service levels or delivery timescales. On the cost side, we immediately implemented a 20% pay cut across the entire company, actually, including the board as well. And we put a hold on recruitment and at the same time pivoted all our marketing activities to the digital and virtual domain. And such has been our progress in that regard, that we've actually recently overtaken the number of prospects that we achieved at the same time last year. So it's been a spectacular switch over, and something that actually will remain with us, I think, for the rest of the year and beyond that. So it really has been a major win for us. We entered 2020 with our strongest pipeline to date, actually, and that's because we planned to scale up our marketing investments just before the back end of 2019, so that we could meet our ambitious, growth plans for this year. So we had a really cracking, healthy start to Q1, and materially ahead of previous year's quarters as well. So despite all these positive encounters, of course, COVID arrived, as we all know, and suddenly predicting how the remainder of the year was going to turn out became rather more challenging. And so it did. So it proved we were able to maintain 100% renewal rate throughout, which in itself is an impressive feat. While customer priorities had obviously changed to self-preservation rather than new budgeted projects. So we still had our customer base who were loyally sticking with our capabilities and technology. In Q3, we again retained 100% renewals from our existing customers, which was another great endorsement of our technology. And the loosening in the COVID mood has allowed us more recently to close 5 new customers as well. But I'm sure we'll come on to some of those details later on.
And Rupert, could you give us some more detail on your financial performance and discuss how COVID-19 has impacted the business during the first half?
Yeah, certainly, Catherine. Very pleased to report that revenue deferred income were up 35% and 15% during the reporting period, with revenues up to £700,000 from just over £500,000 in 2019. That was a result of some good service revenue, but equally, as David mentioned, 100% renewals. And, we did have a very good Q1. Which was a record Q1, and that has resulted in our deferred revenue going up to 1.43 million, which gives us great visibility of our future earnings. And we've continued to invest in the future, but we've also, as David said, introduced very tight cost control. We're not spending the money on events that we've historically spent, but we have found very innovative new ways of marketing, email marketing, and virtual events in these COVID times. Total bookings for the period were down largely because of the impact of COVID. They were down from just over 1 million to 770,000. It's important to note that we did have a record Q1, but Q2 was definitely impacted by the virus, with prospects, new customers, priorities temporarily moving and shifting right in some instances, as businesses were very much focused on their business continuity. However, existing customers did continue to renew and actually buy more product and service from us. But it was the new customers and new projects. However, also important to note that we actually landed and build 24 customers in the first half of 2020 and only 20 customers in 2019. So we had 5 new customers in the first quarter, and we've just started, as those priorities have shifted right, towards the end of Q3, we've actually landed in the last 4 to 6 weeks another 5 new customers. So it gives us a good indication for the rest of this financial year and Q4 in particular. Something else that we're very pleased about during the period is the cash balance was 2.13 million at the end of the period, which was up from 0.89 million in 2019. This, however, doesn't reflect the R&D tax credit of 560,000 that was actually received in July.
So David, could you update us on progress with channel and technology partners?
Certainly, Catherine. Regarding channel partners, I mean, it always has been a key part of our strategy, engaging channel partners to take our solutions into the upper mid-market. We have a whole management team and the skill set is all about that. So you won't be surprised to know that we've already had channel capability and coverage in the UK. But we were absolutely determined to scale up our partner commitment in mainland Europe specifically, to provide the further opportunities that can match our growth ambitions in the future. We now have a dedicated team of 2 people, and I'm delighted to say that we've actually built up a team now of 13 new resellers in this period, and all these partners have recognised that our size actually provides a very nimble approach as compared to the larger first generation PAM vendors that we're up against. And they've been really fueled, these partners, by the demand for PAM and also partly by the disenchantment with the complexity and costs of those first generation PAM vendors. So I think they've responded exceptionally well to our messages and our simple to use and deployed software. We've onboarded them, we've set them up and trained them and supported them all the way through. And they're providing a fantastic, active and involved capability in putting in all these bids. They've been really proactive. I mean, we now have coverage in Benelux, Nordics, Southeast Europe, the Middle East. So I think we can expect over time to see an increasingly important contribution from these partners, because, as I said, it's a huge part of our engaged market and take to the strategy that really sings to what the strength of our product is. Regarding strategic technology alliances, well, they're extremely important because those sort of relationships will help us build and strengthen our market position and the competitive differentiation by expanding the complementary technologies that we can work and integrate with. And we've already agreed partnerships with cybersecurity companies like RSA, My One Login and AppView, also Utimeco out there in Germany, and we are proactively looking for more like-minded organizations as well. We've seen early success with our customer network too, which is a new initiative that we've been planning to do for some time. This year has provided that opportunity. We've had our first events have been at full capacity. This enables our existing customers to meet and share our best practices and the ideas shared across a team of organizations geared to help us and use that technology in a more strategic way. And it obviously strengthens our relationship with customers as well.
David, could you give us an update on your product roadmap? I
mentioned earlier, Catherine, how our persistent innovation has always been, an important part of our strategy. It's been one of our cornerstone themes, if you like. I mean, innovation is so important because I know from experience it helps us differentiate our solution from what's out there in the market. And of course, it all benefits our customers and partners. And the main drive always at the heart of what we do is simplification. Now, I like to use that term because it seems to sum up our first intent, which is, it's all about helping customers use the product easily from the get-go. I mean, they're interacting directly with our solution, and they're almost instinctively just enjoying a self-service experience. And that covers all aspects of our installation, how you go about upgrading our product, and of course maintaining it during its life cycle. So I think it's just a clear signal to our customer base that we're really interested in helping them along that journey. We are a distinctive and differentiated PAM vendor. That's how we look at it. And we have a complete privileged access security suite. And so ease of use and speed of deployment absolutely continues to be part, or the most important part of how we go about delivering the product. The other aspect that we've been really excited about this year is the release of our clustering technology. And it supports our simplification principles, really, because we strongly believe that clustering or high availability PAM represents just another day in, day out capability that helps simplify our PAM solution. It's not for our customers to worry about resilience and persistence and automatic backups when we can absolutely deliver it ourselves and enable them to just push on and use the benefits of what we provide. So it's been a major advance to introduce clustering, and it offers this, certainly unique amongst other PAM vendors, quite frankly. We've always offered high availability, but it's that additional capabilities which continues to set us apart from all other PAM vendors. I mean, we are the only PAM vendor who packages unlimited clustering as part of our core PAM security suite without any additional license charges as well. So we're very proud to have that working and helping our customers. Finally, on the additional technology side, I'd like to state that we've just released our express version of PPA, PPA meaning privileged process automation. Now that's all about automating IT and business processes that's traditionally required expert skills, but again, simplicity and ease of use is the key here. I mean, we hand over all those complicated jobs to software robots who go about completing those tasks in a fraction of time and without the errors from the human errors, and ultimately without breaking any of those security principles. That's part of any company's DNA. So we're delighted to have that out in the field as well to complement our other PAM Express, and we'll be planning our Express version of privileged endpoint management as well. All this Express describes really is a means of having a very easy or very cost-free implementation of our product so that customers can be convinced that what we have actually does deliver what they need. So in terms of predicting what's going on in the roadmap, well, what I can show and tell you is our innovation program will continue, and certainly our simplification principles will be applying to all our products that we take to market. And you know, we'll continue to push on in 2021 with those core principles.
And finally, David, could you discuss the company's outlook on both a short and medium-term basis?
While the impact of coronavirus on the timing of new buying decisions means revenue for this year may be lower than current market estimates, I think the strength of our offering and our accelerating pipeline certainly provides a strong platform and gives us confidence that, assuming the heightened level of uncertainty caused by the virus continues to subside, we can see, I think confidently, that there'll be an uptick in new business wins over the course of this quarter, supporting really some substantial revenue growth in 2021. In the longer term, our value proposition, I think, remains more compelling than ever. I mean, with the coming together of PAM and IAM in the future, and then seeing our analysts now changing the growth curve up to $5.4 billion by 2025. I mean, we see nothing but more and more opportunities to deploy our PAM capabilities in customer organizations, and expanding beyond that, of course. Cyber threats are going to carry on, of course they are. They'll pose an ever-present danger for organizations. and the business imperatives, quite frankly, will ultimately drive the PAM demand that we're seeing at the moment. We have a jewel in the crown with our customers, sticking with us, 100% renewal rates. So we have the confidence of that supporting us. And really our diversified customer base underlines a really impressive pedigree of customers across multiple sectors.
Great. Thank you both for joining me for this update.